Vertigo. I get
Vertigo.
vertigo. Instant vertigo. That ain't funny, man. I be hearing people that
Oh,
be
it's
hemming
serious.
people up. Yeah, yeah. I shouldn't be joking about that. But
Nah, it's serious.
yes, indeed. Woof. We finally we finally made it. Me and
Yes,
Doc,
sir.
we've been
Yes,
trying to
sir.
link up for a minute, and we here. And like he said, perfect time and the stars lined up because I'm gonna tell you something right now. We got a very important series of shows. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. A series of upcoming shows that we have going on. But before I go there, of course, Polka Dot Rabbit Podcast. We are here to uplift humanity, and we are definitely here to assist and aid the knowledge base of the melanated people that across the world and the planet that have been propaganda been thrown to them, the language is stolen, all that stuff, all that the good stuff we know that happened to us as a people. You know what I'm saying? So we're helping to give some of that information back on many levels, different levels, and that's what's tonight about. If you haven't already, go to polka.rabbitpodcast.com and or yourbrozo.com. Check out the book, Bicultural Living and Living in a World of Illusions. Like I told y'all before, the new book will be out soon. Um, and I'm trying to think. That's really it for me. I'm gonna doc. If you haven't already, Dr. Hernandez is one of my when I was just doing that beta thing, just kind of doing this for fun. Dr. Hernandez was one of the my first first guests that I had. You know what I'm saying, dropping jewels. And one of the reasons, well, actually, let me let you introduce yourself, Doc, and then what I'll do is I'm gonna kind of talk about what we got going on after that. But go ahead.
Yeah, indeed. Peace and love to everyone. I want to, give honors to my brother Zoe, showing up consistently and feeding the people with, information that's going to uplift and encourage people to move to their next level. And always just keeping people informed. And that's what we need. We need people who actually care, um, taking part in our media and being, honest and, bringing the facts because that's what we need. We need to be able to control our media. We need to be able to control our narrative. Um, and this is how you do it: showing up every day and being our version of ESPN or whatever it may be. But we need that
Hmm.
balance, you know. So the
Hmm.
Polka Dot Rabbit podcast, when you first brought it to me, I was like, I'm supporting that, you know. So this brother has integrity, and I'm sure everybody who's watching knows that. Um, so myself, my name is Dr. Gabriel Hernandez L. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I have been in the realm of holistic health for over 25 years. I've been teaching medical qigong for about 25 years. Also, um, I, I do a lot of different things. I am a licensed financial professional. Um, I'm a farmer, a father. I'm sure as we talk more, the list continues to grow. So it'll unfold itself, all of the details and everything. But I'm just one who I'm here to learn, to grow, and to help others and to share what it is that I may have with others to help them grow. So that's what we're here today for. And as you can see, sustainable food growth is going to be our main topic today in a series that we have. What's the name of that series? How are we putting that?
Are you prepared? Are you prepared for what's coming next? And
What's
yeah, that's
coming?
what I was gonna say. Yeah, and I was gonna say because Doc and I, ever since we linked up, man, we just been having numerous um, conversations on, as you can imagine, many topics. But one thing we always talked about was just like surviving, survival. Not just like we were talking off camera. All of it. You see a lot of shows they talk about all the spiritual stuff and New Age, all that stuff. That's cool, that's all a part of all this. But you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be so spiritual if you don't got no water, no food, and you don't got no roof over your head or whatever case may be. And ever since I met Doc, see, Doc's the type of cat that I can come to him for an answer, and he don't know the answer. He can come back with me with an answer that will a good answer to answer my question. And that's one of the reasons why we decided to do this series is because we're going to continuously talk about real life situations that we need to be talking about right now, just dealing with preparing for when we say what's coming up next. And if there's food shortages, if it's electricity, you name all these different things. When it just comes down to life, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna be talking about this on a continued basis going forward. So, once you see this, spread the word because this is gonna be very informative. Because I'm not sure if y'all seen Doc's presentations. They're thorough. They're off the change, and we are going to get into that right now. And quite simply, you know what I'm saying? Even before we go into the presentation, could you kind of talk about like how the importance and why it's important to growing your own food?
Oh, wow. I mean, there's so many reasons why you should grow your own food, or at least a good percentage of it.
Mm,
Um, one of the main things that we're learning as as a society is that our food these days is void of nutrition.
mm,
And I don't just mean the processed foods. So the processed foods, that's a given.
mm-hmm,
But really, the foods that we expect to be nutritious are vegetables and fruits
mm-hmm,
and seeds and nuts, grains, etc.
mm-hmm,
There's a there has been a major depletion in the the nutrients in the soil, which translates into a lack of nutrients in the actual vegetation.
mm,
So that in turn leaves those who are eating that food void of nutrition.
mm-hmm.
And most of the health challenges that are going on today, if you really track it, is going to be linked to some sort of nutritional deficiency.
Mm-hmm.
We hear a lot about ADD, and um, even during like the pandemic time, you heard a lot of things about vitamin D, right? Everybody was indoors, a lot of vitamin D deficiency. So that's a
Mhm,
major hormone that we need that is primarily sourced by the sun. Of
mhm,
course, you can get it through mushrooms. You can also get it through various organ meats. That's not something that I engage in, you know. However, that's a way to source that nutrient. But the importance of growing your own food is knowing that you actually have access to food
mhm,
at all times.
mhm,
Um, let's just back up to like 2020. Now, I don't know what everyone else experienced when March hit, around March 6th, I guess it was, and everything shut down.
mhm,
You know, um, much the grocery store and the local grocery stores local to me were pretty much ransacked. It was interesting. Most of the health section was pretty much untouched.
mm.
So
Makes
the
sense.
things that I would buy were in stock, but for the rest of the store, it was pretty much a problem. And I witnessed several fights and arguments over food, and it was getting real over here in Union City.
Mhm, mhm,
Um, so there's so many safety reasons. There's nutrition reasons. I'll give you one statistic real quick just to kind of paint the picture. It would take over 50. Okay, I'm going to use a statistic from the year 2000,
mhm,
right? We're in 2024 and there's only been a decline, okay? But they did a study from peaches, a nutritional density of a peach from the 1950s versus a peach from the year 2000. And they
Mm-hmm.
said you literally would have to eat about 54 peaches for you to match the nutritional content of a peach from the 50s to a peach from 2000
Oh
based
my
on
God.
the nutritional density. 50 to 1 basically is what was the ratio. So if that gives you any any
That's
idea,
ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous.
yeah. And this is a real statistic from 20 almost 25 years ago.
Mm.
So the soil is depleted. After what was it, World War II? That's when you, I guess you can say non-organic or modern farm practices
Yeah.
began.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And this was where they basically started finding an alternate use for all of the chemical weapons that were produced
Mm.
for the world wars. So these chemicals were then relabeled various herbicides, pesticides, fungicides used in modern um, farming practices.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is what has been happening to the soil. Not only is it inundated and drenched with, you can say, chemical weapons,
Mm.
for lack of a better, just putting it bluntly,
Oof.
we're
Yeah. Yeah.
spraying the
That's
food
straight
with
to the point
chemical
right
weapons,
there. Mm-hmm.
you know, and wondering why people are having various issues that are
Mm-hmm.
linked directly to their diet or their nutrition or lack thereof.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, there's so much to know and to learn about food, but growing it yourself, it just ensures that not only you have nutritionally dense food
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna, enhance your your health and your family's health,
Mm-hmm.
but now you also have control of how much food you have access to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, for those who are watching or listening, if you've ever grown anything, but if you haven't, and those who have can definitely vouch for me. Let's say you go to the grocery store and you purchase a red organic bell pepper. Okay, remove the seeds from the inside, set them to the side, let them dry for a few days on your windowsill. You have at least 100 wonderful bell pepper seeds, organic. So now you're starting to create your own seed bank.
Mm-hmm.
We're saying that one of these pepper seeds has the potential to give you about 100 peppers.
Mm.
100 peppers now, and they're not all going to grow right at once. They're gonna be over the period of the season. Once it becomes time to harvest it,
Mm-hmm.
after that 60 or 80 days that it takes for them to mature, when it reaches that level of maturity, for the next 60 days or so, you're going to have continued growth of these peppers. They're going to continue to produce, or these cucumbers, they're going to continue to produce, which means you're going to have food daily,
Yeah. No.
to
You
pull.
know.
So if you,
It.
whether it's just you or your family, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. No. I was kind of gonna piggyback over you because I remember when I was over there. With Dr. Reese, and I was in that farm he had over there, right? And even
Mhm.
when I was in Haiti, right? Or in tropical places, and you look around, and you just see food everywhere. I mean, just everywhere. And people talking about food shortages. I'm just like, you know, food shortages when you got food all over the place, but it's like the mindset of that you can only get food from a store. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then once you can get out of that, just realize that literally, man, I saw something, man, and it blew my mind. Like it said, like you could literally take pine needles and mash them up, and give you an it'll give you a texture like mashed potatoes. I'm like,
Mm,
could you like, you know what I'm saying? Like who would have thought that when you just think you can eat mashed potatoes, anything like it, just out of a box? But
yeah,
that's what we're getting at now is because we have to find ways, alternative ways besides Kroger or Publix not having nothing to eat and not having any food for you if stuff hits the fan. But no, all you gotta do is go in your backyard. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And that's a whole nother level of the game right there. So
yeah.
because once you know what's growing outside and you can identify what's happening, and it's
Hmm.
not like it used to be. We have apps
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So I
Hmm.
implore everyone to
Exactly.
get some plant identifier apps, get some mushroom identifier apps,
Hmm.
even get some rock identifier apps. And you need to know
Facts.
these things so that by if now if the grid goes down and you're not able to use your phone, that's one thing. But some of those apps still can operate without internet. They
With
have
the
a
internet. Yep.
database. They have a database within them. So even if the
Hmm.
grid is down, if you have some juice on your phone,
Yeah.
you'll be able to identify which plants are edible and which ones are not, which ones
And
are
and you
poison.
and you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with just buying a book. You know what I'm saying? Because I have some of one of those those books that the that
Field
same thing you're talking
guides.
about. Yeah, that you can have you seen that big green book? I can't remember the name of it. Big, got these nice flower colors in the front, but it shows you all the different herbs and all the different plants. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can
Yeah,
literally just take the book, literally, and I've done it. Walk out, you say, oh, that's a dandelion, and dandelion is good for cleaning blood. You know what I'm saying? Oh, books, apps are great. Books are great too, right?
yeah, yeah. Daniel, I mean, I'll just throw that out there. I'm sure your audience already knows, but if you can get some dandelions from your backyard, we're talking about
Mm-hmm.
the greens on them,
Mm-hmm.
the the flour on it. You can make perfect tea. You make a
Mm,
delicious, sweet, honey flavored type tea that has all
man.
types of vitamin C and other vitamins and minerals in it. The greens themselves are full of minerals and chlorophyll. Then you can
Mm,
actually take the root itself. You can dry that or eat
mm-hmm.
it raw. You can
Mm,
roast it. It's
mm.
almost like chicory root, so it has like
Okay.
a little flavor. So if you ever were to dry it and roast it, you can make like a natural flavored type coffee. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that's what they use, to make uh, coffee-free coffee. They use
Okay.
dandelion and chicory root, get
I
that
didn't know that.
flavor. Yeah, I mean, it can be a little bit bitter if you take it without roasting it. If you just dry it and don't roast it,
Mm-hmm.
the roasting brings out the sweetness in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then if you add a little bit of agave or honey, you get
Mm-hmm.
a nice flavored tea that's really tastes a little like coffee. But
Interesting.
the amount of nutrients you actually, like you mentioned, you're going to be cleansing the liver.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be cleansing the kidneys.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get 9 of the 12 mineral cell salts in the body. So you're going to be able to repair much of the tissue. Probably 70% of the tissues in the body uh, can get repaired by the mineral content that's just within dandelion alone.
Wow.
So it's a very powerful and potent herb,
Powerful.
amongst other things that it does.
Yeah.
It's it's really amazing. And
Yeah.
that's what the one of the most hated plants in our yard, you know.
Yeah.
And we that's the other thing too. We got to get out of that yard mentality.
Mm-hmm.
We got to start thinking fruit forests. We got to start
Yeah.
thinking, homesteads and home gardens, herb
Yes.
gardens, medicinal
Yes.
gardens, flower gardens, uh, flower gardens just for our bees that we keep.
Mm-hmm.
You know how important bees are for our gardens? So it's
Yeah.
important that if you're getting into farming or gardening, to also start to get your mind into beekeeping so that you can,
Mm,
set you up at least one box in the corner of your yard so that you got a nice flow of bees coming through and pollinating
mm,
everything you got going.
gotcha.
But yeah,
All right, so I think we're gonna jump into this presentation now. Yeah, if y'all don't know, Doc gonna come with a presentation, so we're gonna go ahead and start this bad boy. But look at that. Are you prepared?
yeah,
Look
let
at
me
that.
know.
Are you prepared?
Good.
You know what I'm saying? Can you see it?
Oh, I think I might be losing you on Instagram. I dropped on Instagram. Sorry about that.
Oh, you need me to bring you back on, or you can do a. Are you still up on
I
IG?
need to. No, I need to get my charger. Matter of fact, I can get on my computer though. Give me 1 second.
All right.
I think I can jump on here as well. Oh, it's gonna let me use the same
Peace.
mic.
Let's see. It might help. Might let you. Did your phone die or?
Yeah, my phone died and my charger's in the other room.
Okay.
Let me see here.
All
Give
right.
me
Well, I
one
mean,
second.
if if you, I mean, yeah, I'm about to say if you need to go get it, that's right. I mean, that's cool. You can go get it real quick if you need to. It's not. It's all good.
Okay, give me a second.
Yeah. Just yeah. Yeah. No problem. Peace, everybody. Doc's gonna go get his phone died, so he's gonna go that for all you people on IG because y'all stick around. Peace, peace. Y'all stick around because Dr. Hernandez is talking about sustainable food growth and the importance of you growing your own food. You know what I mean? And if you haven't already heard, we're having a continuous series about preparation for what's coming up next in the world. Because I tell people all the time, you know, when COVID hit, you know, and the Amish people, you know, they weren't affected at all. You know what I'm saying? They sitting there, got food galore, know how to prepare, how to live. They're not even on the grid like that. So, if you're really trying to really prepare for what's coming at and isn't inevitable, it's coming down, it's going down. All these different things, it's going down. So, what we're trying to do now is give people the information. You know what I'm saying? That they need to utilize this information so they can, you know, be able to survive, the worst conditions. I don't care if it's man-made, natural, or natural, quote unquote, natural disaster. You know, you need to have at least somewhat amount of knowledge to be able to go ahead and, survive. And today specifically, we're talking about growing food. Like we said, like I'm not sure if some of y'all might have came earlier, but Doc was saying that when pandemic hit, I'm sure people the Piggly Wiggly were fighting, right, Doc?
Oh,
Piggly
wait,
Wiggly,
probably, yeah.
they were look like WWE match, right?
Oh
So
man,
yeah,
it even got bad at the Springs.
yeah,
You know, I ran up on I had just missed a few night fights.
dang.
I used to go down to Indian Springs to get my water,
Hmm.
and I mean, I want to say at least 3 times.
Hmm.
I got down there, and people were leaving because people had just got into a fight and some knives were pulled, and this
Mm.
was on multiple occasions. This was over
Well,
water.
yeah. Hey, there you go. Water. I guess that that's gonna have to be. That's gonna be. I just sent you a request on IG. IG.
Okay, it might take me just a second to get back on this charger.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. But you just want to go ahead, go ahead with it, and then
we can
once it
start.
pops up, yeah, okay.
As soon as it pops
So
up,
if
we'll jump on.
let me go ahead for y'all people that want to watch this, that's watching this. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and give you. I'm gonna put the link real quick in the chat over on YouTube where it's going live right now. That way you'll be able to you know watch what's going on until his IG comes on. So just bear with me. I'll do that real quick. Let me see. Let me get that on there for y'all.
That's my apologies, man. I was working on my car all day. My mechanic been here all day,
Hey, man, I know that feeling, bro. Believe you me. Let's see.
but we
So
got
yeah,
it
let me
done.
go
So
ahead and
thankful.
yeah. Let's see. Okay, so we go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and put that link in here now. Um, on IG. So all you folks, I just put the link in there. You click on that, you can go over to YouTube and watch Doc because he's over there until his phone comes back on. So let me see if I can. There we go. Okay. So all right. So just let me know. Just give me the heads up when you're when you're able to go on your phone. I'll just bring you on, or you can send a
Okay.
request either way. So okay, here we go. Go ahead. You got it, Doc. You got the floor.
All right. Cool. Cool. So you can go to that first slide. As you can see there, are you prepared for what's coming next? Right. So I just wanted to touch on a few basics. We're not going to go too deep, but I want to make sure people have some basic information so they know what they can do, what they probably should do. And like he said, when it hit, the Amish weren't affected, but I also was not affected. My family
Mm.
was not affected.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing we felt was the toilet tissue situation. So we weren't really prepared on that end. I'll be just straight up. But as far as food, water, and our because we homeschool, there was just really not much of a pivot that we had to make. It was just
Yeah.
we were just ready to go. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, go to that next slide for me.
All right, the one
There you
after
go.
this one.
Yeah,
All right,
can
this
you
one,
bring
the
it on the
station
screen?
efficiency.
Yeah, bring it on the screen. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
Yeah, if you can bring it on,
Okay.
make it big
Yeah,
for
one
me.
second. Okay, here you go.
See if you can put it into. It'll allow you to put it into
Let me see.
demonstration mode.
Um, Let me see.
Up in your looking at right hand corner, I think it'll
Uh
say
huh.
presentation.
Presenter view. Is that what you're
Yep,
saying?
there you
Okay.
go.
All
Yep,
right. Okay.
boom. All right. So one of the important reasons for growing your own food, and I'm going to advocate at this moment for vertical aeroponics, is for space efficiency. So let me give you an example. Vertical aeroponic systems utilize vertical space effectively, allowing for high density cultivation, even in limited areas such as urban environments or indoor settings. So as you can see here, this is a beautiful garden, like an urban garden, right? And they've taken this space and really kind of, taken advantage of it. But with vertical aeroponics, we basically can take a square meter. If you can think of like a corner. So let's say 3 feet by 3 feet, we can basically grow 20 to 40 plants in a 3 by 3 foot space vertically.
Mm,
Okay. So you can do it up to like a 6 foot height, or you can take it up to an 8, 9 foot height and fit 40 plants.
mm,
Meaning, we're talking about, if you could imagine, just for the sake of the conversation, if you and your family loved cauliflower, for example,
mm,
right? You could take one vertical aeroponic garden and have 40 heads of cauliflower, 40
mm,
large heads, right? That could be 40 plants of anything. And the reason why I'm using cauliflower, because a cauliflower plant only generates one cauliflower,
Mm-hmm.
right? But we spoke
Mm-hmm.
about peppers earlier. What if you
Mm-hmm.
put 40 pepper plants on that same mechanism?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about 100 peppers per plant. So now we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about in a 3 by 3 foot space, going
Mm-hmm.
up to going up 6 feet, uh, 20 plants. So we're talking about what's that? 20 times. So we're talking about 2,000 peppers in a. So now we're talking about such an overabundance of peppers,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like for instance, actually, I have a few at the house, and
Mm-hmm.
we actually do. There's a bundle that we offer where people can, let's say, buy 12. Let's say you didn't want to buy just one
Mm-hmm.
tower, right? You wanted a full vertical farm, a
Mm-hmm.
small farm where you get 12 towers.
Yeah.
So if you so on each tower, let's say you pick 12 of your favorite vegetables that you and your family love, or staples that you guys just have to have on the
Mm-hmm.
table.
Yeah.
You can, if you grow indoors, let's say you converted your garage or a portion of your garage,
Mm-hmm.
you'd basically be able to grow enough food for you to I mean, tons of food, 24/7, 365 days a year.
Mm-hmm.
There's no seasonal issues. You just continue to grow your food.
Yeah.
This it basically revolutionizes how people are able to eat.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing, and if you've never done it, it's kind of hard to make sense of it. I don't know if everyone else, um, goes to the store. If you buy your tomatoes, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
if you eat
Mm-hmm.
tomatoes, cherry tomatoes or plum tomatoes or whatever kind of tomatoes it is that you like to have, you know, um, it's $5 for a little pack of uh, cherry tomatoes,
Mm-hmm.
right? Organic. You're talking about so much abundance of food, you have to give it away.
Mm.
And if you wanted to, you actually have a whole nother income.
Yeah, because you
This
just
now
sell it.
becomes a this now becomes an income producer. Now you not only
Mm-hmm.
have enough food for yourself and your family, but now you have enough food to now share with others and to
Mm-hmm.
sell to others.
Yeah.
So
Are
so
you
many
by
different.
chance? Are you up
Say it
on
again.
IG yet? Are you up on IG yet, or had your phone come back alive?
Phone just popped on. It should be
Okay,
on in
cool,
just a
cool.
second.
All right, cool. I was telling everybody on IG just to go over YouTube until you come back on. So yeah, they'll be good
Okay,
there
cool.
too. Yeah, yeah. So if y'all hear that, he's about to come on back on IG because I want y'all to. Actually, you know what? If you are watching this, just I would click on the link because the presentation. He's got a presentation on YouTube. So I would definitely click on that link. So let's see what we got here. So, and saying, so I'm looking at this picture and it looks, this looks like a nice garden, but like from what I'm, my novice mind is, and from what, sees from what you're just telling me, like all this land
Hmm.
here, you could have rows and rows of what you're talking about, and just in this general area, and you'd have just so much more food, nutritious food, you know. Well, let me ask you this question:
Yeah.
when you do like the hydroponics, like when with the water and what makes it more nutrients? What makes it more the nutrients more this way as opposed to being in the ground?
Yeah. So like now let me not say that you can't eat nutritious this way. So I don't
Okay.
want to give that impression, because
Okay.
if you build your soil yourself, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
on now, if you want to send me a link, I'm on here.
Okay.
I'm on IG with you. Um, so you can build your soil, and
Hmm.
you can actually grow nutritious, just as nutritious. But
Hmm.
the issue is going to be the yield.
Okay.
So you can kind of see what we're growing here. Now imagine, if you grow a plant in a, let's say you have a, let's say 6 by 2 or 6 by 4 square feet, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. Turn your volume down. Is your headphones in, or is it?
Got you. Hold on. I
Yeah, turn
got
your
you.
volume down your phone so we don't got that crazy echo.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So yeah, so you can kind of see here. It's like looks like 6x2s or 8x2s, right? And
Yeah.
some of these beds you can, you fit in. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Plants down a row. But
Mm-hmm.
literally, if you had a tower lined up on that same bed, right, you
Mm-hmm.
could probably fit 4 or 5, and it looks like on one side. So you probably could fit, let's say, 10 towers on
Mm-hmm.
one of those plots there.
Yeah.
We're talking about 10 towers times 20 plants on the low side and times 40 plants on the high side. So
Mm-hmm.
we're saying potentially you can have 200 to 400 different plants growing in
Mm-hmm.
that same place where you're growing 20, 30 plants.
Gotcha.
So we're
Okay.
we're literally 10xing your space.
Mm-hmm.
You're
So
multiplying your space, which means that outdoor, yes, you can do this, but indoor, now you can do this indoor.
let's see if I can. I was trying to see if I can get the president. Like I said, if y'all on IG, I would definitely go to click the link so we can see the presentation because he got a slideshow and it's pretty dope. So let's take a look. Yeah.
All right, so you can
Yeah.
go to the next slide.
Next
So
slide.
that's just wanted to show you like the space efficiency. So that's just to show you that you can really take advantage, whether it is outdoor or indoor. Like I have one outdoor and I have one indoor,
Okay.
and you know, so again, you can see what's going on outdoor, and I have plots like this outdoor. Actually, we're redoing our whole garden right now, so I just broke up a few of our beds, and we're rebuilding new beds right now outside.
Mm-hmm.
But we also do the vertical aeroponics as well. And what we found is that the vertical aeroponics, we can grow so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. Give me 1 second. All right. So water conservation. You kind of asked in the last thing, I didn't get to touch on it, was when you're dealing with you're asking what makes the vertical aeroponics so nutritionally dense.
Mm-hmm.
There's been all types of scientists and engineers that have gone and basically have figured out how to optimize the use of it.
Mm-hmm.
We basically have organic mineral mixes that we
Mm.
use for our nutrients. So
Okay.
we have you put the once you put your water in, you put your good clean water in, you
Mm-hmm.
add, you basically measure how many milliliters of nutrients that you need per gallons of water that you insert into your tower, depending on which size tower. I
Mm-hmm.
I personally like the old school towers, um, because they give you more of a base. So the newer
Mm-hmm.
ones, the sleeker ones, are a little bit prettier, but
Mm-hmm.
for me, I'm more looking for functionality. And
Mm-hmm.
if you want to grow gourds or watermelons, you kind of got to have that base so that
Yeah.
it can corral down. So,
Let me let me jump in real quick.
Sure.
Because this is one of the reasons why Doc and I talked about doing this is because, like I said earlier, Doc has a lot of resources. You know what I'm saying? Tons of. I go to him. He'll tell you. I go to him all the time, from big questions to small things about teas and stuff. Um, so real quick, do you have a website that people can kind of I'm gonna put that up that people can go to when they talk about this, like kind of go back and forth while you're talking. The best website to look up this.
Sure.
Yeah,
Hmm.
if you put in a private chat, I'll just I can I guess I can just
Okay. Let me see.
spell it out
Okay.
so
I
you
see the
can I
private
can
chat. I got you.
yeah just you want to copy paste put in there. I'll put it up there because I want the people to be able to, while we're talking, to see to get maybe a better idea what we're talking about. Because I went when you showed me this information, um, when you showed me this information, I went there directly to the website, and
Mhm.
when I went there, you know what I'm saying, I was able
Oh,
to get this information. So I'm putting it in right now for the people. Put it up there. So y'all, all this stuff you talking about, there you go. You can go
yeah,
there, check
if they
out.
go to the website and they just scroll down to the bottom each, yeah, they just have to scroll down to the bottom and then just click on. They'll see one of the vertical aeroponic gardens and just tell
Mm,
they just click on it and it'll take them right to that information.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. And as y'all know, also kind of little side note. We'll talk about this later on, but this is my detox, man. Right now, whenever I do get my detox, I get it from the same website. So if y'all need a detox, come holler at this man. But all right, but anyway, let's go forward. So water consumption. Okay, well that makes sense.
Yeah, water conservation. So in times of if things get a little tight, you want to conserve water. So
Yeah.
basically, our vertical aeroponic gardens use like almost no water. It waters throughout the day. The power consumption of these gardens are basically it comes out to about $7 or $8 a month.
Oh wow,
So it's like very like it, and you keep it plugged in
economical.
all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It waters throughout the day, several times a day. It
Oh
uses a
wow.
misting technology. It mists the
Mm-hmm.
roots with all of the nutrients, so it's giving it everything it needs. It's one of the fastest growing. When it comes to growing plants, if you want to see the most like abundant growth, these
Mm-hmm.
towers outdo just about anything you can do outdoor, just naturally by itself. It's
Mm-hmm.
really optimized for growth. So, like in 4 weeks of growth, a lot of times you can get full. Let's say if you were trying to, let's say you had a tower of lettuce. In 4 to 6
Mm-hmm.
weeks, you have full heads of lettuce. You don't have to wait a full
Mm-hmm.
60 days or 80 days. We're talking about, and it cuts the time in half at least.
Dang.
So we're talking about higher yields, high nutrition. We're talking about high turnaround, which means you're going to get several harvests throughout the year. And we're talking about you can grow throughout every season. You don't have to only grow in the spring and summertime. And that's outdoor as well. Now, depending on where you stay, of course, when it gets super cold outside, some things are just going to frost over and not really going to grow.
Yeah.
You can get away with some greens and some cabbage, a few other things, but these towers also can be brought indoor,
Oh wow.
so you can, if it's getting too cold, they're able to be brought inside and you can still continue. And I suggest that people do start growing indoor as well, because growing indoors, now you can cut out some of the issues with some of the outside pests. And some of the ways that you can kind of play both of those fields is you can buy like a really inexpensive greenhouse for like $100 or $150 on
Mm-hmm.
Amazon, and we actually sell them on our site as well.
Mm-hmm.
You can get a greenhouse and actually still grow outdoor. You can get the benefits of growing outdoor in like an indoor environment, okay,
Mm-hmm.
without some of the issues of growing outdoor. So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of ways to play it. So with the water conservation compared to traditional soil-based agriculture, vertical aeroponics uses significantly less water, making a sustainable option, especially in regions prone to drought or water scarcity.
Mm-hmm.
So it really saves the water. I mean,
Yeah.
the amount of water you
That's
save.
important, man. Yeah.
Yeah. We fill it up one time and you literally do not have to change the water or update your water for at least about a month.
Good
And
gracious.
because it's constantly moving, it's not going to
Mm-hmm.
settle or get funky or anything. Like it
Mm-hmm.
actually smells really good on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're growing cucumbers or basil, when you open it up to check your water pH, you're literally going to smell cucumber, fresh basil smells. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like the roots
Mm-hmm.
are in there that if you're growing peppermint, You smell all of that
Hmm.
good stuff in there.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
mhm.
All right, we're moving on.
Yeah, you can definitely go to the
Right.
next one.
Oh, going the wrong way. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah, almost there. So yeah, nutrient efficiency. So
Hmm.
aeroponic systems deliver nutrients directly to the plant roots in a mist form, maximizing nutrient absorption and minimizing waste, thus optimizing nutrient efficiency. So again, I kind of covered this already, but when we were talking about why is it so nutritionally dense, and this is one of the reasons why uh, it is nutritionally efficiency, but I already kind of explained it. By misting that nutrients directly onto the roots where it's drinking from, you see, you're no longer having to worry about some of the issues. Like, I don't know if you ever heard about like some of the issues with kale. So kale is a very powerful plant, right? Very
Mm-hmm.
nutritious. But if you grow kale in an environment that is toxic or has been compromised,
Hmm.
when you eat that kale, you're going to eat all of that compromise.
Dang.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's such a strong plant and it's sucking up all the nutrients, it's also
Mm.
sucking up any kind of
The bad
thing
stuff.
that
Yeah.
shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So with kale, it's and a lot of other vegetables too, it's very important that you have clean soil, clean water. And you know how much they're spraying in the sky and chemtrails and all that kind of stuff. So they're putting heavy metals. And so even in your own backyard garden, we have to be careful because they're spraying stuff in the sky.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I also advocate for growing indoors.
Hmm.
So it's great to grow outdoors. I still do. I'm aware of some of the issues with that, but there's also nothing like sunlight.
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
know,
Exactly.
sunlight is going to grow like nothing else can grow.
Mm.
Uh, so I definitely do a little bit of all of it.
Both of them. Yeah. It only makes sense to, yeah. Just to it makes perfect sense to do both. Like, are we all right? We're moving on or
Yep.
move on.
We
All
can go
right.
to the next slide.
All right.
Yep. All right. So this is something that I stress, and this is one of the reasons why uh, you know I support this 100% because regardless of what's going on in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Regardless, doesn't even matter because with this type of technology, now you can grow your food year round.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing to have a garden, and if you've been growing for a while, there's just that time of year where nothing's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because most people
Yeah.
just grow in you grow in the spring, harvest in the summer. By the time fall hits, unless you're really serious and rotating your crops and starting to grow some greens now and doing some different things for the fall and winter time, most people kind of fall off during that time.
Yeah. I can see that.
But with a system like this, you can literally grow your food just year round. You see
Hmm.
how these holes are set up in here?
Yeah. I was gonna ask about that.
So basically, this is soilless growing.
Hmm.
So this is a form of hydroponics,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
called
Yeah.
aeroponics because of the misting and it's a little more
Mm.
has a
Mm.
different, slightly different way of growing. So
Hmm.
we use something called rock wool. Okay, it's an organic substance. It's like these little cubes, and inside these little cubes, you put your seed and a little bit of vermiculite, and
Hmm.
your seed just starts to grow. And once you got your sprout inside your rock wool, you just put it in. So you basically, as food is maturing, you start to
Mm-hmm.
sprout your next flow of food,
Okay.
and so you can stagger it out. So, for instance, if you notice on every level, you can actually count four different plants spaces on every level, so in
Yeah.
a circle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in each circle you have four plants that you're growing, and they're all staggered so that they're not blocking each other's sun. You see how that's kind of set up?
Yep.
And so as you take one out, as you harvest one, you literally put a new one right in there.
Mm.
And within a few weeks, you have a whole nother plant ready to be harvested.
Yeah.
And if you stagger it just right, you literally can be pulling food pretty much every day.
What what amazes me about this is just not only just how practical it is, but just the way you're describing it just seems very simple. It's not. It doesn't seem like you need to get to you don't you need
Bro,
to go
using
to
these
mm,
using these are so simple. You're 100% right.
mm-hmm,
There's like it's like four or five things that you have to do. And if you
mm-hmm,
just put it on a little calendar or, so once a week you check your pH.
mm-hmm,
Simple enough. You literally just pull it, dip in a little bit of water, put in a few drops just to check your pH.
mm-hmm,
If your pH isn't perfect, you can either raise your pH or lower your pH.
mm-hmm,
We already have the solutions, the mineral solutions that do that for us. It gives you a perfect guide and tells you exactly how much to put in.
mm,
You come back and test it to make sure you don't need any more.
uh-huh,
And if it's just right, you leave it alone. If it's not
yeah,
yet, then you add the little bit more that you need to get it just right. And again, you have the test. It comes with the tester kit, the little
mm-hmm,
beaker, so everything is very easy. A little dropper kit. I mean, it's and also another thing too is the cost, right?
mm-hmm,
Because you know sometimes people can see this kind of stuff and get intimidated,
mm-hmm,
right? But what I ended up the first time I was introduced to this, right? A friend of mine was like, hey man, you need to get one of these. And I was like, man, I'm already looking at them. I want one. I was like, how much are they? He's like, man, yeah, it's just $600. It's like 500, $600. I was like, man, that's a good price. I said, man, I don't want to drop the 600 right now, right?
mm-hmm.
But he didn't tell me that these things are available with no credit check and for $50 a month, $55 a month,
Hey.
and you got it paid off in a year.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't tell me that, or I would have bought
Yeah,
one
yeah,
from
yeah.
him.
Yeah, right then and there. He
I would
didn't
have
give you
bought
other
it.
options.
I would have bought it right there. And then the
Yeah.
next time I come across it, the person didn't even mention that it was $600. They were just like, yes, $55 a month, no credit. I was
It
like,
came at the right angle.
yeah, I was like, I'll take two.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah,
so that's what I did.
yeah.
Um
I like
last
that.
year. Last year, man, I bought two. And it was just a great decision.
Yeah, man. I mean, again, like we said, we're gonna be giving y'all as best we can the cheat codes to surviving. What's gonna be happening, and all the rest of the stuff. A lot of stuff going on, but you gotta eat to live. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to have food, especially, and it's even better if you eat yourself. You have a way to do it, and it's nutritious, and and you just learn another important life, skill, as growing your own food in a very practical, easy, and inexpensive way. Um, but all right, so we going on to the next one, or
Yeah.
we no on to the next one. Okay. Oh,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
oh, damn! Look at that. Good gracious. All right, go ahead.
Let me
Now, that's pretty.
let me catch up with you.
That's pretty right there.
Yeah, man. So if you can imagine, like, this is an indoor setup, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times what people do is just the garage. You know what I mean? If you can convert your garage, and now do you not only have food enough for your family? Looks like my IG died again. Sorry about that.
No,
But now you
I'll
also
just more
have
about it. Yeah.
again, yeah, food that you can sell. So
Hmm.
this one here, rapid growth rates. Plants grown in
Okay.
aeroponic systems typically experience accelerated growth rates due to the constant availability of nutrients and oxygen to the roots, leading to
Hmm.
quicker harvesting cycles, which I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
But it's really true. The stuff really grows like, I mean, like wild. It's like wild weeds. My
That's what it looks
mustard
like.
greens that I was growing were so big and just luscious. And I'll give you a secret. Like, we're in Atlanta, right?
Hmm.
This past summer, we actually grew a soursop tree on it.
Oh wow,
I mean, you're not supposed to grow
that's
trees
crazy.
on here.
He's,
Okay. You're not supposed to grow trees on here. Let me just say that first. It was an experiment. We got a hold of some soursop. A good friend of ours brought some up from Miami. Um, we kept the seeds. My wife is definitely uh, a master
yeah.
gardener, farmer, and anytime we get any kind of food that might be tropical or something that we don't get normally, if it has
Hmm.
seeds, she's gonna grab those seeds.
Yeah.
She's gonna dry them out and she's gonna sprout them and see what happens.
See what
And
happens. Yeah.
she sprouted it in the rock wool, and we had a full on. We had two baby soursop trees. Um, we had to transplant them to save them.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
And before it got too big, we had to take it out of the tower
Hmm.
because it started to grow. So we had to move it because it's a tree and it would have caused
You
damage.
had one of them little shopper horror soursop trees coming out, right?
Yeah, it was going to be a problem, so we had to hurry up and get
Yeah.
it. But
Feed me.
but it
Feed
showed,
me, Doc.
but it really showed us the potential of
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
what we're
yeah,
working
yeah,
with.
yeah, yeah.
I
Just
mean,
when
we're
you
in
telling me
Atlanta.
that, I'm visualizing that. Like I'm just like, man, good gracious, that's amazing.
I will
Um,
tell you to be careful with what herbs you grow on here,
mhm.
and I'll say that because mint.
Okay.
Mint is what they call a runner,
Mhm.
and in our home garden we have several types of mint. We have a lot of different herbs. So
Mhm.
like, we have chocolate mint and bergamot mint. Bergamot by itself. We have peppermint and we have spearmint. So all of these and lemon balm. So all of these different mint family plants. Mint family plants run, meaning they run underground. They send shoots underground, and they'll pop up
Oh, gotcha.
all everywhere and all over. And
Mhm.
so we grew some mint in there, and let me tell you, that thing is thriving so seriously, and you can
Mhm.
actually see the runners that it
Mhm.
produces. So it's like
Mhm.
interesting because you don't see that when you grow mint in your garden.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
see
yeah, yeah,
what's
yeah, yeah,
going
yeah, yeah.
on
Yeah,
underneath the
underneath.
soil.
Yeah.
But now being able to see that, it's amazing. It grows all of these fingers and arms, and it tries to take over the whole tower.
Mm.
Like, so it's, yeah, don't grow mint in
Mhm.
it. I'll just tell you that.
An invader,
But
an invader.
it's an invader. But grow your greens, grow your basil, um, grow your thyme. You know, I'll tell you all of the wonderful things that grow on there. Collard greens, uh, broccoli
Mhm.
grows amazing. Broccoli leaves. I don't know if
Mhm.
anybody eats broccoli leaves, but broccoli
Yeah.
leaves are amazing.
What about the kale
Um,
though?
oh, the kale, the lacinato kale, the curly kale,
Mhm.
purple kale.
Mhm.
Kale goes crazy
Mhm.
on these towers. And
Crazy.
again, you have a clean environment to grow the kale in.
Mhm.
So you're not going to have any issues. Celery grows great on these towers.
Oh wow.
Chard goes great on these towers.
Yeah.
Um,
Sound like my wheelhouse.
Tomatoes, especially cherry tomatoes.
Hmm.
Cherry tomatoes
Mm.
off the chain. The sweetest, red, yellow, purple, whatever you want to do. It goes crazy.
All
Um,
right.
we did college too this year.
Okay.
College came out great. So college, the mustards, the kales. Yeah, we had two types of kale, collard, mustard. We were also growing parsley. Parsley. We did find out that parsley this year does not get affected by the freeze.
Oh wow.
So there was a freeze recently, and that was like we lost the last of the stuff on the tower
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
few weeks
yeah.
ago.
Uh,
Um, on that were outside, and what survived was the parsley, and
hmm.
survived beautifully. And
Yeah.
parsley is low key one of the most nutritious foods on the planet.
Really.
Yeah,
Never
parsley
known.
is always overlooked. People
Yeah.
look at it as a garnish,
Vanish.
but the blood purifying factor of parsley,
Oh wow.
the vitamin K content, the chlorophyll content,
Hmm.
second to none. Mineral content, very
Yeah.
high,
Right.
very high. It's like parsley and kale are neck and neck.
Gotcha. I'm happy you told me that. I'm happy you
Yeah,
told me that because I didn't know that till now. So I'm gonna start
neck.
snatching some more parsley up. All right, we moving on.
Yeah, parsley.
All
Yep, go
right.
to the next one.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And this is basically the last slide.
Mm-hmm.
So this last slide is just dealing with community engagement and education. So implementing vertical aeroponic systems can also serve as an educational tool, engaging communities in sustainable agricultural practices, fostering food sovereignty, and empowering individuals to take control of their food supply in times of scarcity or crisis.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you know, this is also an educational tool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the towers that we have actually have a full curriculum. So if you have children and you homeschool, or even if you don't homeschool, if you just want to educate your children in
Mm-hmm.
agricultural practices, these towers actually come with an entire curriculum K through 12. So you literally can utilize your tower or your vertical aeroponic tower to teach your children math, history, science,
Mm. I see.
etc.,
Yeah.
from grades kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. That's
Mm.
how in depth
Yeah.
the knowledge is in relation to this thing. But you can see, for those who can see the slide, this is like what they call a chef tower garden planting recipe. So this is one way you can look at your tower to get the foods that you want. So notice this is the same tower that I was telling you about. This is the type that I have. You see at the bottom, there's like a base.
Mm-hmm.
You see how that is?
Yeah.
The
Uh-huh.
reason why it is, if you look where it says section one,
Mm-hmm.
it says eggplant, cucumbers, squash, tomatoes. Okay, the
Mm-hmm.
squash, the eggplant, the cucumbers specifically um, need to run. They are like
Mm.
like squash needs somewhere to lay.
Gotcha.
Makes sense. You
Gotcha.
know how squash is kind of like it just keeps on. It needs somewhere to lay down. Keep it
So you
simple.
put your watermelon on it, like watermelons there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You can have your watermelons right there and draping down.
Gotcha.
You see how the stuff is draping down off of it,
Yeah. 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 It's
and then
running.
you see section two. You got
Mm-hmm.
your collard, your broccoli, hot peppers, sweet peppers, and remember you get four on each thing, right? So you can see how that's going to work itself around. Section 3, you got beans, kale, mustard greens, and peas.
It's a cheat
Section
code.
4, basil, cabbage, lettuce, spinach.
Mm.
Section 5, oregano, rosemary, savory thyme. This is if you want to, do a lot of herbs. This can all be vegetables, or this can all be fruits. There's all kind of berries you can do on this. You can do strawberries. You can do,
Dang.
yeah. You can do blueberries. I wouldn't say do blueberries on this one. Um, we actually have a bunch of new seeds that we just ordered. So we're pretty excited. We found a bunch of different fruits that we're going to be able to grow on it this year. Um, but I just wanted to show you that because you see even on section 7, they got
Mm.
leeks,
Yeah.
cumin, chard, cilantro. So there really is no barrier. The only thing you can't grow on here is trees.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
As long as you're not trying to grow an apple tree or something like that on here, you're good to go.
But like, I mean, it's just interesting about when you said the sour sap because is it like could you technically start it and transplant it like you
You,
did?
yeah, you can. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
But
yeah.
if you don't do it in time, you will damage your tower
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. I see what you're
because
saying.
it
So
as it
that's
starts to grow, you're gonna it's gonna start to root. The roots are gonna start growing,
gotcha. Gotcha.
and if
I'm
it
with you.
gets
I'm
too
with you.
big inside it, yeah, you're gonna
Yeah, it's gonna be a problem.
yeah, it's gonna break.
All right. Well, that's the last slide.
That's the last slide. Yeah,
All right.
we could have went much deeper, but I wanted to make sure we didn't, we left time for some questions or you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my thing is, because people, that's why I wanted to put the information so they can reach out to you because that's another reason I like to talk to you and why I want to have this show because a lot of information that people need, you already have it in house, so you don't have to go out anywhere else to get it. When it comes to numerous things we'll be talking about. So, I like to keep it in the house, keep it in the family, so to speak. So,
Mhm.
once you see the people that do see this, people that watch it again, take that website right there and share it with them. Share this because we're going to be talking about stuff like this consistently. Because if you ever wanted, like I did probably about 4 or 5 months ago, like, damn, man, I just want to, you know, grow my own food. When I was in Virginia a little while ago, I was at my mom's
Mhm.
crib. I just started digging the side of our house, and I would take, all just like you said, I took all my watermelon seeds. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I took all my watermelon seeds and I just saved them, let them dry it out. In that area I dug out, you know what I'm saying? I just put seeds in there with some of the, I had some mulch I was growing plants with earlier, some fertilizer soil. I put that thing, man. The whole next thing I know, by the end of the summer, the whole thing was just watermelons everywhere. I'm like, yo, that's as easy as it is to grow. So it gave me such a feeling,
That's it.
just to be able to grow my own thing, man. When I saw the little watermelons, I said, God dang, you know what I'm saying? So, but in just saying that, being able to have the knowledge, the right knowledge, how to do this the proper way, that can feed your family. This is priceless. I'm telling y'all, man. And we're gonna continuously give you this type of information, about life hacks, about when stuff does hit the fan, because it's coming down. We ain't trying to sound like the boogeyman number. Just it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. You want
when
to be
stuff hits the,
prepared. Look,
yeah,
I'm with you, bro. Like,
yeah,
you know what they say? What they say? Prepare for the worst, expect the
yeah.
best.
Expect the
You
best.
know,
Exactly, man.
there's
Exactly.
nothing wrong being prepared.
Nothing.
Nothing wrong.
And
Failing to
that's a very important. Yeah,
prepare
it's a
is
very
preparing
important
to
thing.
fail.
Mhm. Yeah, exactly. It's very important, man, because a lot of us are distracted by thinking everything's a okay. And just like the brother was saying earlier, people fighting over water and stuff with knives and toilet paper and like, we all saw what happened in which when just a certain tweak of our normal way of living came, how people were freaking out. We were all freaking out. Don't try to front. So, you
Yeah.
know, this show, these series of episodes, we're going to be dealing with these topics specifically that if stuff hits the fan, we're going to give you enough knowledge to be able to start work on this stuff yourself. And we started it off with Doc talking about how growing your own food inexpensively, healthily, healthy in your own house, which is, I think, the most important. I don't know if you already have the next topic we're gonna be talking about, Doc, but as soon as you do, let me know. We put it up, and I'll put it up to the people. But um, yeah, like
Yeah, we can
I
touch
do
on a lot of
appreciate.
different things. We've
Hmm.
been gearing our, when you came to me with this idea, Zoe, and I think I mentioned it to you, we had been gearing our website for that purpose. We had been in the process of rebranding our business, our website, and
Hmm.
offering,
Hmm.
I guess you can say, herbal supplements and different ways to cleanse the body. And during the
Hmm.
pandemic, I think we were probably a blessing to a lot of people because
Yeah.
we had some things that people needed during that time. And
Hmm.
so, I'm thankful that we were already prepared and in place, and we're able to help some folks.
Yeah.
Um, but now, as as people evolve, as our business evolves, we just started thinking about how can we be more of a service to the people,
Hmm.
beyond just providing supplements. We
Yeah.
don't want to
Yeah.
just be
Yeah. Yeah.
known
Yeah.
for that. Uh, and I don't want to be pigeonholed. Although I've been creating medicine for a long time, but
Hmm.
I think food is also medicine, and that's a
Yeah.
big part of what me and my family do together. And so that's something we wanted to really figure out how to share with people.
Hmm.
And not only
Yeah.
that, um, the sustainability, solar
Hmm.
power, how does
Yeah.
that fit into how does that fit into things? How
Yeah.
does having survival foods?
Yeah.
We just I haven't got a chance to put everything up yet, but some of it's on the site right now. But we're
Hmm.
even we're finding ways because you can go to different sites and you can find prepping stuff, and it's a lot of MREs type
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
I don't really want to provide MREs for people, but I do
Hmm.
want to have, you can say, natural alternatives,
Yeah.
foods that do not necessarily go bad, that are
Yeah.
still considered healthy, natural, without having to put crazy
Gotcha.
preservatives. You know, um,
Gotcha.
I want to share how to dehydrate with people. How do you can?
Yeah.
Um, these old things that our grandmothers used to do that
Hmm.
for them it was just the norm,
Gotcha. Yeah.
because in those times everybody had a home garden, and
Hmm.
the average family was producing 50% of their food
Mm.
in-house.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
imagine if you're producing 50% of your food.
That's crazy, man.
You
Oof.
cut your bill in half first. And secondly, there's nothing better. If you've never eaten out of the garden, if you've never
Hmm.
grown anything and then like just
Hmm. Hmm.
and actually ate it, then you just don't know yet. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
just think everybody needs to know what that tastes like. I remember the first time I ate something out of a garden on a small farm,
Hmm.
a purple asparagus. First time I was
Hmm.
like, it's like, whoa, it blew my mind. The
Yeah.
flavor,
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
it was like you almost felt the energy that you
Yes.
just ate, photons that you're eating.
Yeah.
Like when you eat out of the
It,
garden, you're eating light.
yeah. Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
you're eating photonic energy.
Hmm.
Uh, but that's a different conversation for another day. But yeah, I'm excited about this.
Yeah, man. Me too, man. Again, as always, Doc. I learned some good new stuff today because I was, I went to your page and everything. I went to information you shared, and I was looking at it. So I was like, okay, well that makes sense, but like, how does it work? You did a good job
Yeah,
describing it now because I can visualize now more so, like, fixing the water, making it go, watching the, I could. You did painted a real nice picture. So,
yeah,
like I said, as soon as Doc, you know what the next topic's gonna be. I'm gonna put it up. You know what I'm saying?
Um,
We're gonna set the time and up everything, and I'll we can promote it, put on
yeah,
out there for
let's
round two.
let's talk tomorrow about it. Let's
Yes,
figure out
sir.
exactly which direction we want to go, and yeah, we can definitely do it.
Yes, sir. All right. Well,
Yeah,
that's it for both of us. Y'all see the website. Go to his website, like I told you before, and he'll tell you. I swear by his detox. My whole family do. You know what I'm saying? And his products are off the chain. He's got the illest box in the world. He sends out to you with the herbs. I saw that thing. I felt like I was a daggone rock star. I thought I was VIP. God dang! I said, dang, look at this. Look at this box. I felt like a celebrity. But um,
Liz,
but then I felt really like a celebrity when I took the herbs and everything, and he got little tonics and all that stuff, man. He man, it's off the chain, man. Doc, he's off the chain. So
good thanks, brother.
smartpharmacy.com, go there, and like I said, share this show with people because this is a topic that's very important for the future. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Growing your own food. It's so important. And now he's showing you a real inexpensive, effective, and nutritious way to feed your family, even when times get hard. So, but that's
That's right.
that's really up for anything else, Doc? Got anything else for
Yeah,
the
I
folks?
mean, the only other thing I could say about it is, I mean, if you think about it like this,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the thing fits in your corner. You can sit it in the corner, and you can grow 20 to 40 plants. Like, if you just do the math, like you could go to the grocery store and try to buy 20 different.
Yeah.
That's a lot of food,
Mm-hmm.
and don't think about it like a plant, like an aloe plant per se. It just has what it has. Like these plants continue to grow, continue to
Mm-hmm.
produce.
Mm-hmm.
Just Google how many how many squashes does one squash seed produce?
Dang.
How many zucchinis does that one zucchini plant produce?
Mm-hmm.
How many butternut squashes does one butternut seed produce? How many pumpkin seeds or how many pumpkins does one pumpkin seed produce? You get it? Like when
Yeah.
you're growing mustard greens, when you're growing collard greens, yeah, you put one seed in there, but as that plant grows and you
Mm-hmm.
harvest from the bottom, the plant
Mm-hmm.
continues to grow and continues to make more leaves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Continues like it doesn't even stop. Like it'll just keep on growing all season.
Yeah.
You take what
Yep.
you need and just let it continue to grow. So it's like
That's beautiful.
we got to start considering the fact that these people who are providing our food today do not have our best interests at heart.
Interesting, man. Yep. Without a doubt. You know.
They don't care. They don't
Okay.
care. I mean, if you look at some of the foods that we used to eat in the 80s and 90s, some of
Mhm.
those same foods today
Mhm.
now say genetically modified or genetically engineered foods
Mhm.
are used to create this product. It's getting scary.
Yeah. Yeah. It's rough, man. Yep.
They're
Yeah.
putting nano technology and nanoparticles in the food now.
Yeah. I heard it. They
You
put
have to
MR.
be
They pouring.
careful what you put in your body.
Yeah. I heard it. Oh no, man. I ain't gonna go that route because you know how these. Yeah. Nano. I'll just stick with you said
Yeah.
nanotechnology, man. So that's a different subject. But
In the
but
food.
yeah, in the food, man.
They're inoculating the food. So
Yeah.
if you're scared to take the jab or you're not taking the jab, you got to be careful with what you're eating because you might be taking the jab and don't even know it
Don't even know it.
because you've
Mm.
eaten something that got the jab.
Got the jab. That's tough, man. Tough.
So even if you're going to I'll just end with this. Even if you're going to um, if you're going to eat chicken, if you're going to eat turkey, go to your local farm supply store. Hens, egg laying hens are $10. Invest in a
Mhm.
little coop for your chickens. Invest in you a few little chickens so that you can have your eggs going. And when you want to have some fried chicken or bake you a chicken or a baked hen or whatever, you got 10 hens in the yard so that you can do what you need to do. I mean, I don't eat it personally, but I don't knock anybody who does. And
Yeah,
if you're
yeah,
going to do it, you might as well do it right.
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's
And
right.
don't
That's
have
a good point.
nobody hitting your chickens up with no jabs.
Yeah,
Because
man.
that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing down at Purdue. That's what they're
Yeah,
doing down at Tyson.
yeah.
So just be careful out here.
That's it.
I'm gonna end it there.
That's it, man. That's a good place to end it because that's some real talk. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people ain't talk about that, but that's a different subject down the line, man. But man,
That's
this was a great conversation, Doc. Thank you for sharing this information to people. Like I said, we gotta keep on giving this information. I learned a lot again, like always when we talk, and we out of here. You know what I'm
indeed.
saying? Poking that Rabbit podcast.
Peace
And
and love.
Dr. Nandez, indeed. You know what I'm saying? We're here and we're gonna keep on teaching the folks, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be learning, learning every time. You know what I'm saying? So we out of here. Peace and love, everybody.
Peace and love.